Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about Alliance. Late last year, in fact in December, we merged two companies together. That was Alliance, Singapore-listed Alliance, and Australian-listed Tawana. Both companies had 50% of the Bald Hill mine. So from a practicality point of view, we merged the two companies together, and we remain listed on both the SGX and the ASX. We're the only battery materials miner on the SGX. We've got about 1.3 billion shares on issue. We have a market cap of around $220 million, or roughly $200 million at the moment. And we're one of the biggest producers of spodumene in the world. And our product is very, very high quality. And we started commissioning about 12 months ago. We've been in commercial production since June last year. I won't dwell too much given the time span we've got to work with, but we've been ramping up the mine. The mine first half year of mine production was about 50,000 tonnes of spodumene concentrate. We're targeting anywhere up to 80,000 tonnes of spodumene concentrate for this half, up to June, end of June. And we'll continue to ramp up production into next year. Our location, we're in Western Australia, not far from Kambolda or Kalgoorlie, a couple of hours drive from Kalgoorlie, and we export through Esperance. Esperance is the second biggest exporter of spodumene in the world after Bunbury, with 3 producers exporting out of Esperance at the moment. That's Mount Marion Mine, Mount Cattlin Mine, and Bald Hill Mine. We've got a very large land holding. We've got 750 square kilometres, and we have 15% control of the company that we created that has the other 750 square kilometres of land holding. We bought this mine on very quickly. So in late 2016, November 2016, we did our first drilling, and just over a year later, 14 months later, we started commissioning. No other mine has done that. We can ramp up the mine very easily, and we're in the process of increasing our production rate quite significantly, and from September, October onwards, we should be producing at about 20,000 tonnes of concentrate a month. Some production statistics, as I mentioned, 50,000 tonnes of production for the first half year of commercial production. I guess around about the middle of December, that's when the production profile took off. And that's because the mining took longer to get down to the main ore body. It's now in the main ore body, and we continue to ramp up that production profile. So our production for next year, next calendar year or next financial year, should be around 240,000 tonnes. But we are now looking at ways to increase that further. We believe, obviously the lithium sector is very weak this year, very soft. Next year we have a lot of incoming requests for product for next year, much more than we could possibly supply. So we're encouraged to see that, and we hope that the sector will improve quite a bit next year. Our lithium offtake, so roughly half of our production is committed to the JBJ joint venture. It's a joint venture between Hong Kong listed Berwill and Chinese listed Shantel Special Motors. They take anywhere up to 100,000 tonne this year and up to 140,000 tonne of spodumene concentrate next year. That gets shipped to Yishang City in Jiangxi province, and they've got a very big plant there. Or actually, the plant is actually owned by Shantel Special Motors, but one of those kilns is under joint venture with Berwill. So that plant has a 40,000 tonne capacity. It's one of the biggest in the world and is not fully utilised at this stage. It does not have sufficient supply to be fully utilised. As I mentioned, we might have mentioned before, is that we're very much underexplored because we only had less than a year to drill the project. So we've just started drilling again to increase our resource and reserve life. Currently we have a 26 million tonne resource. We have currently an 8-year mine life, but that will reduce with the throughput increase. But at the same time, we expect to grow our reserve and grow our mine life, get it back to double digits, get it back to more than 10 years. And over the next 24 months, I hope to double or triple that resource based on the exploitation potential at this project. Some of the drilling at the end of the last drill program, that was done back in early 2018. We didn't do any drilling for nearly 12 months, but the last drill holes drilled in the last program were quite impressive. Very big intersections, very high grade, and so we'll be obviously following those up as well. In fact, one of the water bores we drilled, one of the water bore exploration drill holes we drilled hit a very large ore body, and we'll follow that up this year as well. To give you some idea of the scale of one of the targets, that bigger pink area is about 8 kilometres, which is about 1.1% of our land holding, and we've only drilled about 20% of that one little area. So there's probably a decade of drilling ahead of us, at least, for this project. So in summary, our first shipment was completed of spodumene was completed in May last year. We produced 50,000 tonnes in the last 6 months. We're producing anywhere up to 80,000 tonnes in this 6-month period. Our costs will drop as our production rate increases. So next year we're looking at costs, in the range of $400 a tonne, US. At the moment they're closer to $600 a tonne. We sell in the 700s. We work to a formula-based pricing method now. It's typically got a 7 in front of it, and the reason for that is our quality of our product. We're the only company that puts all this information out to the public. And the reason is we have very good chemistry in our spodumene, and we don't have much fines. Fines are a headache for the converters, and moisture. Water is a headache. We have low water content. We don't have much fines, and we have very good low iron content. In fact, it's probably the best spodumene concentrate in the world, bar none. So we are a premium product. And that's really noted by the off-takers. As their margins get squeezed with pricing, all these things make a big difference. If you're not having to spend money on burning off water, that's important. If your fines are not creating dust and get blown out of the kiln, from the environmental point of view, that's very important. And our iron is so low that it doesn't create the same slagging problems that some of the products do around the world. So product quality will count for a lot, and product quality will mean a lot more when people's expectation of hydroxide quality increases over time as well. That's why we're happy to put all our information out on the product. The remaining uncommitted product, we should in next quarter have announced who our other offtake parties will be, and that will be key for the shareholders to see who they are. We're in quite advanced negotiations at the moment on other offtake parties. And that helps us spread the counterparty on the product. We also, as a byproduct, produce a very high-grade tantalum product as well. That gets shipped to Europe, to Germany, because it's a very clean product, low radiation, so that can go anywhere in the world, that product. I'll end it there and get back on schedule. Thanks.